Everyone died. Everyone loved. Everyone cried. Round the world we're all alike. So why is it war? Why do we fight? There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Make peace, make peace, peace. Alright. Isn't it time to stop time? Isn't it time to stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. With one hurts, with one needs, we gotta learn to live together. Peace in peace, in peace. Alright. Everyone died. Everyone cried. Round the world we're all alike. So why is there war? Why do we fight? There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace, make peace, make peace, peace. Alright. Isn't it time to stop time? Isn't it time to stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we gotta learn to live together. Peace in peace, in peace. Alright, make peace, peace together. Peace. I'm here. Yeah, I made it. Yeah, I've been busy doing my thing, guys. Sorry, playing catch up here too. I wanted to make sure
I had everything, like all my ducks in a row, so to speak. Make sure we do some, great programming. Yeah, thank you for joining me on Between Two Worlds Shadow Chasing Show, and I'm your host, Dark White Sky Cloud. It's been a busy week. I'm sure you guys have seen it, heard it, hear bing, 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 wee, 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 zing, zing, zing in your phones for the last couple of days or so. Amber alerts over and over and over and over. And for some reason, they're making this Amber Alert so meticulous, like as in it's so important to there for them to find these two kids. And supposedly this woman's supposed to be dangerous, which is the mother. Um, well, let's get started here. Here in BC, up in Kelowna, when the first Amber Alert came out, people need to understand one thing too. Before we start using the word Amber Alert, let's talk about child trafficking, because child trafficking has been going on for a long, long, long time, and it actually is based under Hollywood's elites, CIA, you name it, the Ukraine government, they've all been involved for a long, long time. Okay. China as well, they have been involved in it too, big time. I don't know why my chat rooms are not working in the YouTube right now. For some reason, not letting anybody in the chat rooms. I can't figure that one out. I've never had that problem before. So, and if they are in the chat room, guys, as much as you possibly can, I'm going to get you to go to my page here. I'm going to do this real quickly here. I'll take that and drop that, or not drop that. Just take this, swing, not that, just this page of YouTube. Copy, and I will drop this into the Facebook, and you guys can drop in if you want to go back and forth in between both YouTube and Facebook. I'll just drop it in this page right here as well. Enter. I'm in there. And yeah, everybody's worried about me not coming on. If I'm ever late, it's because that's not what I wanted. It's because I have been busy trying to put things together, make sure this is working right. So if you guys can please keep on sharing, let everybody else know that I'm on YouTube as well. First, I've been trying to get YouTube to allow my chat room, but for some reason my chat room's been stopped. Like they won't let me have my chat room. So I guess they're not allowing people in the chat rooms because of myself. Maybe because I'm telling the truth. So what they do is they prevent chat rooms from being operational. Okay, let's get back to our story. There have been a lot of people actually talking about, child trafficking for a long time. Now, let's go back from the very beginning, okay? I've said this before for the last 2-3 years, maybe 3, ever since the beginning, since I've talked about this. Human trafficking has been around for a long time, and we have our leader, our commander-in-chief. We have Donald J. Trump, who actually has been helping to rescue children from all over the world, underground, above ground, you name it. They have special alliance forces. They're the ones that go in there specifically to rescue the kids. Okay? Children, women, boys, you name it, whomever has to be rescued, this is what their job is. This is what they've been doing. What they do in the end, is what I understand, is that once those people are rescued, they will always destroy the location. So it'll never get used again for any other purposes of kidnapping or human trafficking. Okay. They'll always destroy the area so that they can't go back and use the same thing again. Think about it. Okay. Now, through the years, through these last 2, 3 years, or even so, there have been a lot of people suspiciously believing that the actors have been involved with human trafficking. Yes. Okay. People have been trying to expose them. Even Hollywood with themselves been trying to expose other elites about human trafficking. And what happens when they start to expose that, their reputation gets destroyed. They will say that they themselves are the trafficker, or they themselves are hallucinating, or they're coming up with all kinds of, oh, you're imagining this, imagining that. Now, one of the main people that actually has been coming forward for years and had stated that there has been human trafficking and adrenochrome and you name it for years. He's been trying to expose it to you guys and show you what they're doing. And people thought he was crazy. That's Mel Gibson. Mel actually, when he discovered it, he kept on saying, look, guys, I'm telling you, this sort of thing does happen. He's only limited to what he's allowed to say, but people just laugh at him and think it's funny. This is, it's not a joke. And so they have been trying to destroy his reputation for I don't know how many years. I mean, really, not how many years. And they've done it for so long, and people got used to it. The public got used to, the listeners, the viewers got used to actually having seen Mel talk, and they say, well, he deserved it. He's an alcoholic, or he's an abuser. They even went after his girlfriend. The Hollywood people said to her, you need to destroy Mel. If you don't destroy Mel, we will destroy you. Next thing you know, they're in court. Now, he's fighting for his life. In fact, they went as far as trying to destroy Mel's reputation because he mentioned about a few other Jewish stories. They said he was against Jews. I mean, they really picked on him. Well, guess who was actually involved with a lot of the child human trafficking? Jews, the Jewish people. Not all the Jewish people, the bad ones, the evil ones, right? So there has been a lot of things going on. Now, the thing is that Trump knows, certain groups of people knew this. When Mel came forward, when Trump became president, Mel came forward and had these certain meetings, special meetings with President Trump. And he told him what he knew. Okay, he told the alliance what he knew. These locations, what he would believe is there, that they'll have most likely the kids. This is one of the exposures. Now, at the time, Mel had to start making movies. And anytime he's at any location doing movies, that's where they're going after human trafficking. Now, he also made a movie called Old Gringo. That movie was based on almost a true story where the fellow was actually inside, he was actually arrested, taken inside the prison, and he learned how to survive in these prisons with children, families and children. This was actually labor camps, and these existed in Mexico. This is not a farce, folks. This is for real. He was making these movies specifically to waken you up, to let you know what's going on. He wanted you to see this. So anytime that Mel has been trying to say words, there's always someone in Hollywood who is above everyone else, tries to destroy his reputation, which one of them actually is Oprah. She has a major hate for Mel Gibson. She had to find a way to stop this from happening. Now, there's also other politicians that Mel could not get along with, or they could not get along with him because he was exposing. Don't forget, folks, all of this is involved not around Mel, but Mel has been telling these stories for the longest, long time. I mean, I'm not talking about when Trump became president. I mean, he's been exposing them since the time he became an actor. Okay, that's years. But no one would listen to him because they were all involved. Every one of them, mostly. And again, if anybody who's just one little person tries to expose them, they're not even allowing them to say anything or do anything. And if you do, guess what, folks? You go missing. That's how it works. You go missing or you get replaced with a clone. Remember now, that's how powerful they were. So once they replace you, they take your consciousness. And so basically, they transfer consciousness to your clone. You got nothing to say anymore because now they control you. And that's how it works. A lot of these actors you see on TV today or in movies right now, most of them are clones. Because they themselves wanted to come forward at one time or possibly wanted to say something and suddenly they got replaced. They didn't like what they seen either. You know, I'm not saying every person that was an actor was evil. I don't really think so. I don't think they were all evil. I think they wanted to say something, but they were afraid to say it. They were afraid to gather together to say enough is enough. I mean, you look at some of these actors that have been fighting for years, trying to expose human trafficking, trying to expose child trafficking, trying to expose, you name it. The man who actually supposed to have committed suicide in prison, and then find out later he's not dead. Why? Because he had to whistleblow. He made a deal. He made a deal with Trump that he was going to expose everybody else. He's going to give him everybody's name on paper who are all involved. Every politician, every actor, everybody, even military, everybody, CIA, you name it, he knew it. Okay? He knew all those people. And, you know, sometimes people have to go so deep to investigate or so deep to expose people, even so deep to even be on the bad side or on the dark side. You know, for example, you get people that are undercover police officers, whether no matter what it is, either FBI, you name it. They go undercover to pretend to be somebody else. They take another identity. They go undercover and they see the worst thing in the world, what's going on. But they have to have evidence to prove this sort of action has been taking place for years. So they video record a lot of this. Whoever these people go undercover have been exposing or actually have been recording them and exposing it to the right persons. And they did. They exposed them to Trump's alliance people. And they found them. And they, showed them. I mean, there's a lot of videos that shows even children serving adults dress up like little women. I mean, there's videos that have been out there for a long, long time. Right? And people need to remember too, Oprah was already replaced. Oprah right now. The real Oprah is already a clone. The real Oprah is gone. She's actually was taken out. Okay, right now you're seeing a movie. This is 5 years ahead. I'm saying this first. The movie was made. The movie itself, for example, for the human trafficking movie, has been out for more than was made over 5 years ago. And yet they decided to release it now. You know why? Because they know very well it's safe to say it. Now, number one, sure, they were having difficulty trying to put the movie out in the theaters to make it forget it to be exposed to the public and the whole 9 yards. That Hollywood would not back it up. Even Fox was 5 years ago was going to pay for it or did pay for it until they found out later it was all to do with human trafficking, and then they decided to pull their money because there are certain people being, exposed. Oprah is actually one of the one of the, between her and I can name some of those names, but Oprah's one of the leaders, one of the queens actually. Her, Lady Gaga, is also one of the queens. They both work together in human trafficking. Gaga is actually one of the child sacrificers. She's always got tubs and tubs of blood. I've seen lots of videos, photographs of her, which she was doing. There's quite a few. In fact, even another person who I never really realized that how horrible she was. Her name is Blondie. I'm sure you need to know her name. Was also there, sacrificing blood. There's a few more actors. There's quite a few. I mean, we can name names right now, but that's not the important part. The important part is right now what you're seeing is a movie. And at this moment, as we speak, even Mal is exposed. Oprah, he's exposed. Let's put it this way: he's going after. Okay. Jamie Foxx. After see with Jamie Foxx, let's go to Jamie Foxx for a moment. Jamie Foxx was going to help out Mal to expose Hollywood, and he fell for it. You know, he fell for the thing that the guy. Remember that one guy that supposedly got beat up and they shoved his head. They put his head into the ground by the cops, and they said that they killed him. Or remember, he said, I can't breathe. And next thing you know, he's supposed to be dead, and he wasn't dead. He's living in Mexico, by the way. This was all a movie. Again, the movie. And Jamie Foxx fell for it. Jamie Foxx thought that this was actually the big thing. This guy was really dead and was all a racial thing. It was not. It was never a racial issue. But they had to make it look that way because that was George Soros that hired all these guys to make it happen. So Jamie Foxx got fed up with it, and what happened was when he was about to expose the truth, he got physically blinded. He almost died. I mean, Jamie almost died. Jamie went into the hospital. They said he went blind. Then he decided to expose Oprah. He went after Quincy Jones. Like this is getting to be big, folks. These are all people involved in human trafficking, and now it's gotten crazier. So then someone said just recently that Jamie Foxx supposedly got up out of his hospital bed, walked out as if nothing ever happened. That was if he was cured. And he walked out, and then someone said out loud, they said, Jamie Foxx now is a clone. The real Jamie Foxx was replaced. Again, folks, you're going to hear step by step by step a story. This is a movie. As I said earlier in the program, I talk about Amber Alert. The lady that was chosen to be the leader of Amber Alert, she herself is part of a pedophile human trafficking organization. They chose her to play the role. So because number one, Amber Alert is controlled by the elites. It always was. And so I decided to do a little bit of investigation. I decided to look up, like when the Amber Alert came up, and they said that there was a young lady or a mother with 2 kids. There was supposed to be a woman, and interesting, her name was Verity Bolton, and very interesting name, Verity. And she had 2 children. Now apparently she's got a son and a daughter. And I was on Facebook, and then Facebook shows that she's very happy with her husband. They have their 2 kids, and they're having a great time through all the years. On Facebook shows like there's nothing ever happened wrong, nothing ever wrong. And then I thought, okay, suddenly they're saying, Amber Alert, that she kidnapped her kids, stole her kids away. Okay, you're a mom. You have a right to steal your kids away. Maybe you're in danger, or you don't want your kids to be exposed to whomever that husband, and that's John Bolton. No, that's sorry, that's John. That's actually the father, and he's with the wife. John Bolton is actually, take it back, not John Bolton. What we have here is Robert Bolton, and that is the father, and he's 74 years old. And there's another man. The RCMP said that there's another man named Abraxas Glazov. Abraxas Glazov. And I'm thinking, okay, interesting name, Abraxas Glazov. Now, apparently, he was supposed to be with her and the two kids, and they apparently were supposedly last seen in Kelowna, then Merritt. These are the towns or cities. They're actually at the gas stations fueling up. I'm surprised the police didn't get him already, but for some reason they're letting them drive. They're making this look as if it's a big case. And then I thought, you know what? Instead of focusing on her, and his name came up, Abraxas Glazov. So I thought, okay, I'm going to look up Abraxas Glazov. And now there's two Abraxas Glazovs. Same men, same photograph. One from Sylvan Lake, Alberta, who actually works in the oil fields and is a trucker. And there's a Glazov, Abraxas Glazov, that lives in Clinton, BC. Same photograph, no changes, same photograph. But this one shows me here Abraxas Glazov. He himself was missing. And the RCMP were looking for him. That he went missing, as in not as a convict or missing. He was a missing person. Okay? Now, here it gets even better. How do you spell this part? Alexis Abraxas Glazov. There was she's got a T-shirt. Not sorry. Let's go back to Verity, the girl. Verity is wearing a T-shirt. I got a photograph of her and the boyfriend and the two kids. She's wearing a T-shirt that says True North, Strong and Free. Not of my show. I mean, I have a page called True North, Strong and Free, but she's got this T-shirt that says True North, Strong and Free and has a Canadian flag on it. And then there's the pictures of them stepping off the plane at YYC. Oh, it gets good, folks. I did the research. And herself, okay, listen to her name, Verity Bolton and Abraxas Glazov, and again, her two kids, they all came off a plane together. Guess what plane they came off of? From the Ukraine. Ooh. So they're saying Ukrainian evacuees are stepping off the plane at YYC. This is them. You want to see it? Let me show you. Okay. Now, I know you may not be able to see it in the... I'm going to show you this part here from Facebook here. Okay. Gee, what do we have here? Same lady, same photograph. Many staying with host families, but looking for more permanent place to call home. Okay. But the names have been changed. But they come from, they moved, they went to Calgary. This is her. Same photograph of her and the two kids and the man. Come from Ukraine. Different names. Because her photograph matches the other photograph. Does that make any sense, guys? Something's going on. Okay. Different names. There's the boy, there's the girl, same kids. There's her. She's in it. Something's going on, but it's coming from the Ukraine. Okay. Ukrainian evacuees are stepping off the plane at YYC and into a tight rental market. Why has this happened? This is more than you think. There's something to do with the Ukraine. Now, it's possible that this woman herself, because Abraxas Glazov, and it says Ukraine, and it automatically goes directly to that photograph. Okay. And yet his name's not even on there, but the photograph matches it. There's more to the story. These people are either know something, and I strongly feel that it's not as much him. Now, like I said before, in that photograph, it shows me, I'm actually, here's what we'll do. Gets really good, guys. Okay. This part here, there, no. Okay. They're making, this is all to do with Ukraine. This is, you know, yes, it is one of the biggest hotspots. Human trafficking was big in the Ukraine. They actually had over 300,000 children locked down or actually stolen and hidden away in silos. And Putin actually rescued those kids and brought them back to Russia. So, and the Ukraine wants Putin captured and executed for stealing the kids. Well, those kids don't belong to them in that area. Those kids, all those 300,000 children, actually belong to Russia, and there's families that there are some. Most of those kids were their own, and whomever actually is still they have no parents, then he would adopt them out, and he actually he was able to adopt out the remaining of the children out in Russia, and they love it. They were so free. So the thing is, it's the tracing of Abraxas Glazov. There's something more here, because it says Abraxas Glazov, he's a swab and tool rig operator and a tank truck driver at Carnwood in Sylvan Lake, Alberta. Same guy, same photograph. Okay. Then it shows another page a couple years ago that this Abraxas Glazov went missing in Clinton, BC. And the police said, the RCMP said they found him. Now, something's fishy about this, folks. But let me say something to you on that part. Yes, it's true, Catherine. Ukraine never signed the border treaty, so that the Ukraine is still part of Russia without question. It is true. Russia owns the Ukraine. Always has been. The only people that wanted to separate the Ukraine from Russia were the politicians, not the people, the politicians, because people in the Ukraine speak Russian. Okay, slightly, but they still speak Russian. There is no difference. Those only certain groups of people, like, you get your left, rights, left of and the rights. This is basically all it really was. So basically, I strongly feel that this woman here, okay, I've got a feeling here, this Verity Bolton knows a lot what's going on, and she probably is in hiding because I wouldn't put past it, she's actually a whistleblower, or she was a if she's not a whistleblower, she actually was a witness to certain things, and that's why they're after her. She's just trying to find her freedom. She just wants to hide and protect her kids. Something doesn't make any sense here, guys. This is bigger than you and I, and Amber Alert put this out. Here's what I find is interesting, and please understand the story. Why has Amber Alert decided to go after this couple, or this woman and her 2 children? We have not had any Amber Alerts for at least a year. A year. Why all of a sudden Amber Alert came out looking for this woman, particularly for these 2 kids? There have never been any more Amber Alerts before that. There was dead in the water. Nobody's ever called for Amber Alerts, and yet they'll always say in the newspaper, so-and-so girl gone missing. It's always a First Nations girl, little girl gone missing, but they don't put on Amber Alert. Ever. Never. They put it in the newspaper or on Facebook. They don't put it on anywhere, but I don't see Amber Alerts with First Nations or Indigenous girls or boys gone missing, or white kids or non-Indigenous, whatever, any child gone missing. They don't put any Amber Alerts out there. They never do. This is the first time I've ever seen Amber Alerts, maybe up last year and a half, 2 years. Maybe. Think about this, guys. If you're ever able to do your research, find out when the last Amber Alert ever was out to look for a child. That's what's going on. I know Amber Alert is it's bad. I don't think Amber. Oh, here's another reason why they want to use Amber Alert, and I'm going to say this. After the Amber Alert came out, then the Freemasons decided to be automatically a sponsor to get kids, or they're saying, you need to use the mark of the beast to actually put the mark of the beast, put trackers inside your children, so then you know where your children are. Folks, if you put that tracker inside the child, doesn't mean he or she may go missing. That means that that Amber Alert or the pedophile organization will know where your kids are, and they'll come and scoop them up whenever they feel like it. Who's really paying for this? We don't need these little mark of the beasts trackers to go inside these kids. None. What's the sense? It didn't work for the dogs and cats, because the only time you use those is if the dog is lost and found, and they bring it to a dog pound, and they go click. Oh, the Spot is in this here building. Okay, there's the people that actually has the dog, but they don't go look for the dog, or they look for the tracker on the dog. They just grab the dog and bring it in. Seldom anybody uses that tracker to see if that dog belongs to anybody. If they accidentally find the mark or the tattoo, mostly it's tattooed. It's too expensive to put those little insert things inside them, so they use a tattoo. But the fact is, because they're tattooing the dogs and cats and animals behind the ear, do you really want to start tattooing your children behind the ear? You know what I mean? A child can go missing, yes, but it's the responsibility of the parent. You do not, when you go shopping, you don't expect your child to be safe if they're sitting in a push cart, or if you think they're safe, they're inside of a car while you're going shopping. They're not safe. Anybody can come by and smash your window, grab your kids, and you're done. They have new machines now today, and especially people got electronic vehicles. You can actually walk up to a vehicle with a special kind of machine. It's very small, and it'll match the codes, and they can open the door easily and grab your kids and gone. The only way that you can do to protect your children is for them to be with you, or have someone with them take care of them while you're gone shopping, or make sure you keep your eyes on your kids. If you don't want to be responsible to raise children, then don't have kids. But if you love your children, keep a closer eye on them. A lot of these children were stolen from people out of their yards. Like basically, I've seen so many videos where a child sitting on the back of a mother's bicycle. Next thing you know, there's a couple of guys in the vans, grab the kid, boom, and the mother's still riding her bicycle. They grab the kid in the van and gone. They freak out, but they can't find them because the RCMP, not just RCMP, police officers can't track them. The only way that would help to track them, so to speak, is there cameras up there that are in the street. Sure, the cameras can work, but who's controlling the cameras? Okay. Are the elitists controlling those cameras? Are they really going to help out to track and see who actually stole those kids? Or are they working for somebody else? Are they working for Trump? Those cameras? Or are they working for themselves to sell more kids? That's why we have been dealing with this for a long, long time. Why do you think they're trying to get you scared when they made this movie recently about human trafficking? And sure, some people may not like it. They saw the movie and it just bothered them intensely. Yes, because this sort of thing happens. It's been going on for years. Years. Every generation has always have been children stolen and used for either slave labor or sacrificial needs, you name it, or adrenochrome. Whatever they do, they do. Most of it is not as much pedophilia. It's more like abuse. They use it specifically for satanic purposes. Your children. That's what they were doing for the longest time. Not as much now because most of those bad guys are gone, the ones that were taken out. But we still have a few out there in the background. They're in their silence and they're waiting for those, Yeah, Catherine says 5,000 kids were stolen in one area in New York State in 1 year. Yes. And they all knew where those kids were. They all knew where they were. Why? Because the parents will actually say, oh, Bobby lives over here. And yeah, he comes out this time. You guys have to do your freaking research. Do your deep, deep research. Make sure who you can trust and who you can't trust. Really, whatever happened to babysitters? Everyone's so used to taking these child centers, these kid centers, and they'll say X time, like, oh, your child can only stay at this center X amount of time between this time and this time. You're spending a whole bunch of money for a caregiver, a child human or a caregiver to take care of your child, but it's not your child alone. This caregiver is taking care of 10 or 20 kids, and you're paying them lots of money to supposed to be keeping an eye on your kid, but they're keeping an eye on everybody's kids. I think it's time for you guys to get back to your natural way of life. You have a relative babysit them, or you have a contract with a babysitter to take care of them while you're at work or you're gone. When I was a kid, my mom depended on either a babysitter, which was of a relative, not someone that she doesn't know. Okay, I was very fortunate that I never got stolen, but my mom trusted the people that took care of me. But I learned one thing from my mom, and my mom always said to me, if something is suspicious that you don't trust, if they say your mom's calling you, you don't take their word for it. Or your mom says to come for you to go there, don't take their word for it. Because my mom said, it was me that will be calling you, not them. And that's exactly what you need to learn to do. You need to actually start spending more time with your kids, guys, and learn to love them more. If you don't want children, then you should have had them. And they are, there are more kids now born today that came in this world to help make you happy. because children bring the absolute inspiration in you, all of us. They are in the light, and we walk into the dark at times because we're so worried about this and worried about that. We need to stop worrying about, you know, ourselves and start focusing on our kids. You know, Catherine says, I've been babysitting my grandkids for 16 years. That's the best thing ever because you're closer to them. They trust their grandmother. You know, grandma is the most trusted person in the world because grandma knows and the kids know grandma. Right? Well, the fact is, and you know, some of you guys will say, oh, I don't want any more grandkids. You're still uncle to a lot of kids. If you start getting involved with kids at events, you're introduced as an uncle or an auntie, and the kids want to believe in you and trust you. When I worked at Métis Family Services, I was working with 150 kids in care. These are kids that are foster kids. And whoever was there that needed my help, I was there. But I was also there with another female so the kids can understand both the male and female presence. And also, too, that we always make sure that it was safe for them. Because the government was supposed to trust us. But now I can't even trust the government. I can't even trust the ministry. Because now there actually has been an ongoing investigation on the ministry that actually has been selling children for a long, long time secretly. And I know very well that some of these people that have been working for the ministry will be arrested and tried in prison. And they will be imprisoned. It's possible they may be worse than that. Life in prison. They were selling the kids. My grandmother was sold. And she was taken from a reservation many years ago, back in the 1880s. So it's been an ongoing thing for a long, long time. They make money on kids. They sell them. We are actually at birth always have been for sale. If you look at your name, as soon as it says your birth date, you're at birth. Okay? You are for sale. The NASDAQ actually sells you. You actually are on the auction block. What you're worth. I'm not kidding you. It's been like that for years. Catherine says, home is a village and lessons taught by elders. Sadly, too many want babies in the career, and careers usually take precedence, sadly, but not all. Yeah. You know, you can still have a career and have kids if you want. But I always tell people, if you're going to have kids, make sure you make sure you have a career first before you decide to have children. You know, and I know there's a lot of families that are in a hurry, especially in the Indian culture, are always in a hurry to marry their kids off, marry their children off before they even reach 2021. Leave those kids alone, folks. Stop worrying about thinking you're not going to be a grandparent. Let your kids grow up still. Let them have fun, enjoy their lives first. It's not a cultural thing. That's just you guys are going by tradition, by a whole bunch of men's thoughts. These men out there who are live from another country, and they'll say, these children have to be married. There's even children now, here's other countries now, they're marrying children off at the age of 8 to a 40-year-old man. These are arranged marriages. That is not right. Absolutely not right. This is where the beginning of human trafficking begins. This is all part of human trafficking, folks. These other countries, think about it, these European countries that marry off these little girls at 8 years old, that's still human trafficking. It's still human trafficking. You're selling the child. That mother is selling her baby, and they already know that this baby is going to go to this man after she reaches a certain age, and they're going to marry that little girl off to that man. If she refuses to, they'll beat her to death and kill her. In their own countries, they said they have the right to kill their own children if they refuse to go with that person that they choose to be with. This is ongoing, guys. I'm not kidding you. This has got to stop. It happens here in Canada too. It happens here in Surrey, BC. I was at one of the centers to do some historical sharing with the kids from in one of their schools. And I was saying a few words about, when you have girlfriends and boyfriends, one day when you grow up, you'll have girlfriend and boyfriend. I was scolded about that. I was not allowed to even mention that. And they told me if I mention it again, that, I can that I would go through certain consequences, as in they would take me out back and beat me. That was scary. Okay. So, yeah, I'm talking about the Amber Alerts. It is, basically what I was mentioning earlier tonight is that this story about this girl, a mother and 2 children, and she's in hiding. She grabbed her kids from her husband, I believe, or the man that she was with, and they're on the run. Well, she's from the Ukraine. And the man that was they named the man that's supposed to be with her. There's 2 men, actually. One is her father, who was actually, his last name is Bolton. He's 74 years old. The man that's with her, his name is Abraxas Glazov. Now, when I said before earlier, Abraxas Glazov actually supposedly lived in Clinton, and he went missing, and the RCMP found him. Like, gone missing, as in that means he was a community person of the community. And then there's another area, another Abraxas Glazov, same person, same face, lived in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, years before, same person, also from the Ukraine. There's a photograph here that both this woman, Verity Bolton, who came in from the Ukraine, both her and her children are from the Ukraine. And it says on the t-shirt, the picture, it says True North, Strong and Free. Let me show you guys that. Okay, I'll just, one more Ken. I'll just do this twist. Bring this to the front. And I'll just do this part right here. Bring it closer. There. There it is. Same woman, same man, same kids. From the Ukraine. So what does that tell you? Gee, guys, she's a whistleblower. Something she was going to expose, and they're looking for her because she knows something. Oh, Catherine says, yes, Derek, I did my deep research for a very long time. Please look up Boys of Afghanistan, and which will lead you to other topics. Fantastic. I'll do that. Like I said before, there's a lot of things going on in this world that most people don't realize. How do I get this chat room going? I can't see the chat room. Live chat. There we go. Oh, I see. They turned my chat off and I turned it on myself. Okay, there we go. I got it. Yay! They had it blocked on my YouTube. It says live chat, and I touched it before, and it says no, can't access. So I clicked it again, and I finally got in. Finally. Okay. What they're doing right now, folks, is as we speak, the actors, entertainers, anybody involved in Hollywood, they're exposing each other. No matter if you're in the music industry, no matter if you're in the acting industry, entertainment, whatever to call it, they're exposing each other. Now, why is there a actors strike? Think about this. Why is there an actors strike? Because there's no actors. They're not there. Don't forget, all these actors sold their houses. Last year, all these houses in Hollywood were for sale. Hundreds of them in Hollywood. They're all for sale. Gee, why? Because they're not there. Well, number one, folks. Okay, Catherine says, "Why come to Canada to be safe?" Trudeau is eyeball deep involved with Ukraine. Well, remember too, Catherine. Trudeau is not here. He's not really here. This anybody tells me that they passed a law for this or passed a bill for this and passed a bill for that. You can't pass a bill from a non-recognized human who's not human. You don't take any. You don't take any. How do you say this correctly? You don't take any orders from the AI because that's exactly what Trudeau is. He's an AI, and so he's only there. And I remember at the Calgary Stampede when Trudeau actually was wearing a cowboy hat and trying to flip pancakes, and he's doing this little thing on the side of his hand, and he's doing this, you know. Gee, I wonder what that's all about, folks. Think about it. Satan. Okay. Now, the real Trudeau that was living knew how to flip a pancake, and he was good at it. He never went slap. I remember him bang 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 bang. Years ago, he can flip a pancake no problem. So, illegal plus, Derek, we are under War Manual Act since 911. Sort of under a War Manual Act. We're not really under the. I mean, you can say you're under an act, but not under an act. Doesn't make any sense. We are right now. We're at a place that we need to focus on. What? Go see mommy. It's my cat. She's calling me. I want in. We do have, we got people in charge, but they're not really. They're just like someone actually did a photograph, a picture of Trudeau and what's her face sitting next to each other, and then they both and the words were, okay. It just says in there, "What's next? What do we do next?" You know, there's always going to be people trying to make up all kinds of rules. But I will say this. We're not really entirely under the War Act. We are under peace here right now. The War Act, if Canada was at war, we would have our military soldiers, out on the field. Our soldiers are here. And also there will be American soldiers placed here as well. They will be working together. They're waiting to say when to come out on the grounds. We have over apparently 1 million coming in here that will be placed all across Canada, because we will have peace, but we'll also be under martial law. That's going to come. You can't stop it. It's on its way. We just have to wait for it. Martial law is a good thing because it's going to help all of us. But again, when we hear the word martial law, when it actually is announced, because I remember the mainstream media hasn't not announced it because they're not supposed to say anything yet. Once it's announced, then we'll be ready for the next 10 days. That 10 days, 2 weeks, but we'll have that place where we have to be watching TV and watching what's going to happen next daily. But that will be when they have the tribunals, that we have to be the witnesses of all the tribunals. But also that's why I'm telling people to make sure that you are food safe, like you have lots of foods and plenty of cash on hand, because you're going to be so busy watching so many going, oh, I can't believe it, no way, oh my God, he too, she too, oh my God, no way, and just going to just tear you up. You think that movie got you? Wait till you start seeing those politicians and those people out there that were accused of crimes against humanity. Wait to see what happens to them, and you get to be the witnesses of their tribunal, and you be the witnesses possibly of what happens out there if they're going to be part of it. So I'm telling you guys, this is bigger than all of us, but it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. We are going to be learning how to have more faith in ourselves without having to depend on a government to tell us what to do, because that's what we've been doing. We have been spoiled rotten. I don't care what country you're from. We've all been spoiled rotten by our government, as in we let them take advantage of us. And then we shake our fists. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. And yet we still let them. Okay. Catherine says, military doing world global exercise. They are here as I have seen them, plus military air each day. The 7 messages will come on every phone in the world. That's true. The 7 messages will come. You'll get messages. Once you get those, that means you need to prepare. Oh, yes. Oh, where is that video? I had it saved. Where did I put it? Catherine, where did I put it? I was going to use it. Let's see if I have it still. Okay, that's not it. All right. I have something here for you guys to see. I forgot about this part. If I can do this. Oh, come on, give me a break. No, that's not it. That one. And that one. Okay. I have something to show you guys. I want you to see this. It's going to be very important to look at. And this is what I was shown. You'll have a better understanding of who's helping us, even in disguise. Oh, that ain't supposed to happen. There we go. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to switch this around back to the screen here, and you will see this guy here. Remember him? This guy here, you know him now. You put these two together. Okay. These two are working together. But this guy here wears a mask of him and is playing him. Did you know that? He wears a mask. Look at his eyes. Look carefully. They work together. Okay. These two, and he will also wear Tim Ballard's face and plays the role as well. He has been seen in public a few times, been recorded going into a restaurant for a bite to eat. As we speak today, he's been around, but people say, "Oh, you look like so and so and so," and he said they keep on saying that, but it's not me. That's not Paul Walker. He said, "I'm not Paul Walker. I'm somebody else." And even though he didn't say he's not, he just says, "I'm not Paul Walker." So, but the guy will say, "You look like Paul Walker." No, that's not me. That's not him. I don't know who you're talking about. And the guy will walk in and have his lunch. So they try so hard, but he has been helping Trump with these guys back and forth here. Okay. So Paul Walker and Jim Caviezel, those two have been working together back and forth. Okay. Or Tim Ballard as well. So he'll wear a Tim Ballard mask and play him too. This is what these guys do all the time. They play each other. These are the better actors that know what they're doing, but they're doing the job because they're actually helping us. Yes, folks, Paul Walker is very much alive. He had to fake his death because he works for Trump. He was undercover. You want to play the role as undercover cop? He really is undercover. Okay? Literally. So I'm gonna start looking up this OBS thing and find out if I can actually work it. So I can bring my photos into the YouTube page so people can actually see them, make it a lot easier. Okay. We also have something here that's coming up, and they're talking about doing eye payments with your eyes. I do not recommend to do it, folks, because why would you want somebody to do your eyes all the time? That's basically they've been trying to teach you how to do eyes since you've been wearing masks. Okay, so you're basically yeah. Someone put a video up from their phone last week of Paul Walker, and he denied it. Hey, no, I know. See, oh yes, I know. See, there you go. So, that's what people do. I mean, even Joan Rivers is very much alive, and all Joan Rivers ever did is cut her hair really, really short. She just put and no makeup, and you couldn't even tell it was even her. So let's see. This one here. Okay, here goes, guys. You're going to see this. I want you to see this. There's no sound to this one. It's called eye payments. And this is what they want you to do. Watch carefully. Would you agree that we should have eye payments? Okay. I do not think. Why should we use our body parts to do payments? It doesn't make any sense. What's happening is they're trying to make it simpler, or not simpler. They're trying to make it where they can still control you where you've been. That because when you do eye payments, that's tracking you. When you do thumbprint, that's tracking you. When you do any kind of transaction, that's tracking you. Sure, you do your own card, but your bank that knows it. No one else knows that but your bank. Once you do the eye thing, that goes all over the world. They know your eyes. But what if you got blinded in one eye? And, or if you don't have, say you're blind yourself, period. How are you going to do transactions? They won't let you. So those that particular eye programming that they're trying to do, because that was from, they were trying to train you to start using this because you're wearing masks. Okay, don't forget, folks, when you start doing this, walking into a store, they got your eyes. Okay, because that means that they know you're coming into the building. You don't have to show a card no more. You walk right in, beep, they see you walking in, they know who you are. Superstore starting this has already started this back in Vancouver, up in Vancouver, and it's not cool. I don't like it. It's like, oh, as if their store is high security. They're trying to make it where they can control you and tell you what you're allowed to buy and not allowed to buy. If any kind of store, corporate store, does this to you, don't even bother entering. Just totally avoid them. The more you avoid the store, the lesser the money they make. Okay? If you're wanting to go in and you want to purchase something, just say, for example, don't bring your, like I tell people, don't bring any your cameras with you, except one person. Bring all your no, everybody leaves their cameras either in your car, whatever. Just put it aside. Just bring cash. Bang, 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 bang. 20, 30 people. Bang, 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 bang. Go in that way. Bring cash. Because what's going to happen, they cannot stop you from buying product with cash only. Cash is legal tender. But if they say, well, you got to have a credit card. I don't have a credit cards. I don't have credit cards. Well, then that's too bad. Then you can't buy anything. Well, then fine. I have cash. That's legal tender. You can't stop us from buying with cash. That's legal tender. We have cash. If you prevent us from buying anything with cash, that means that the store itself is in legal problems. That means that you can actually have them charged for forcing this identity crap. Okay, you can charge them for that. It's a federal offense, preventing you from payment. That's illegal. In fact, that's called extortion, is what it really is. Catherine says 2 years ago, a man in China had his little girl with, and he used his daughter's doll for eye identification, and that is how he entered the stores. Freaky. Well, make sure cash is the tender. Even your Canadian Tire, those are your Canadian folks, your Canadian Tire money, that piece of paper they hand you, those coupons, they're still legal tender. Okay, they were those little pieces of paper were manufactured in a mint. Those are legal tender. You can use those to purchase things in your Canadian Tire store. That's legal tender. I'm not kidding you. It's still legal. And nobody believes it. They go, "Oh no, you're full of crap." No, it's true. It's absolutely. They were actually made in it. They were actually minted. That money was minted. Okay. So Jim Caviezel actually is trying to expose the CIA's pedophile ring, which he says is the largest in the world, next to the Ukraine government and China. Okay, so the CIA is really, really, really. Again, folks, remember one thing. Even though we can say things now, the CIA can't stop anybody because Trump's in control of it. He's already ahead of us. Don't forget, he's 5 steps ahead because of the 5-staged chessboard. He knows how to play the game. They're 5 years ahead of us. So we are just always learning something new. It has already played out. Did you know that? Okay. It has already played out. So it's something that we have to understand, that when you see something on TV and they're telling a story about this, and this, or a movie, whatever have you, it already played. It's already done. It's already happened. And you know, Blair's asking when, Derek, when is the military going to appear? Don't know. I can't say. I wish I can. Um, I know they're here. They're waiting to be uh, called upon when they needed us, or when we need them. When they call for martial law. And it's not the mainstream media that call for martial law. It'll be announced through those 7 messages. 7. Okay. Through our cell phones. When they'll call martial law, then you'll know. It'll come through your cell phones, and it'll come through your TV sets. If anybody has any of the the programming that happens. So they give you 7 warnings. Be prepared. If you got 7 warnings, if you get the first warning, it means you get your damn food organized and your cash ready, because this is what's going to happen. It'll be martial law lockdown time for a little bit, not forever. This is all to do with because they want you out of the way at home, safe, while they go and collectively pick up anybody else who's corrupt. I'm talking about any politician that was involved, even our city councilors. If there's any sign of corruption, they're going to collect them too. I'm not kidding you. It's bigger than you think. Okay, not just common federal government. I'm even including our provincial government. If there's any councilors that is doing things in the corrupt way, they're going to pick them up too. Okay, they're going to get them, and then you're going to go, "Oh, I should have listened. I shouldn't have done this." Guess what? You're gone. So, yes, the Amber Alerts are the part of the 7. You will get not Amber Alerts. It's not going to come to you. It'll be an EBS. You'll get EBSs, Emergency Broadcasting System. Amber Alert means missing people, but EBS is different. DJT and I have prevented wars from decades and decades started. Okay. Yeah, time traveling has been around for a long, long time, and I know because I've seen some of the stuff is interesting. Yeah. So basically, what I'm bringing out, I wanted to bring this out because everybody's talking about. I've been hearing it and watching it from this movie. Now, there's a free download. If you haven't seen it yet, I have it on my True North Stronger free page on my Telegram. If you want to get a free download, you're more welcome to. I can send it to you guys. Of the movie itself, it is available for people to see. Let's see here. If I have it there. Oh yeah, there's a fellow who's trying to start up a new social credit score, telling you about, you won't believe what's coming. It's called the Coin Bureau. He's putting a scare tactic, he's talking about smart cities, how the elites plan to control us. Thing is, again, that's one person can tell the story, folks, but I don't want to get you guys all worried that you're going to be in trouble, because how I understand it, that everything will be fine. You just have to let it flow through. Okay. I've seen too many people become too controlling, and that's not what this world's about. We're not here to control people. Never have been. No, it's this one here.
Hey, everybody. It is.
No, not that one. I'm doing that one. It's too long. Let's see here. Where are I put you? Nope. Nope. Yeah, the movie is in. Yeah, yeah, the movie's in. I download the movie, so anybody wants to download, if you want to download the movie for yourself, it's on my Telegram page on True Not Strong and Free, and save it for yourself. If you're unable to see it, if you're not ready to watch it, that's fine. But when you really want to watch it, you can download it on your own computer and have a look at it later on. There's a website that's sharing it for free. So, um, what does the Bible say about the 10 days of darkness? The 10 days of darkness is not about you and I. The 10 days of darkness is about the bad guys. They should be afraid of those 10 days of darkness, because when the 10 days of darkness happens, they are in the dark. They're the ones that are going to be scooped up. We will be saved. We'll be taken care of. We should not have to fear God. Okay? The people fear us. That's what I want to point out. Because a lot of people say, oh, when your question is, Corlin, is what does the Bible say about 10 days of darkness? The 10 days of darkness, and never talked about us to be afraid. Is that we are safe and we're well taken care of. Believe in God. In fact, we all do, but God's taking care of us. It's the bad guys that are going to have to fear God, because that's when that shit comes down. Catherine says, we're not out of the woodworks yet. Plus, the Phoenix is set to reappear in 2040. Yeah, but that's later on. I'm talking about as of now, because there's so many things that are going to be coming out as we speak. I'm talking about as of today, within the time. I always tell people this: try not to worry yourself sick about each day. Like, live your day, live the day, enjoy it. Look forward to every day. Have fun with the day. Because it's we have been so involved in watching the game. Every game, whether it's a football game, baseball game, basketball game, there's always someone out there that you see as a hero. You think they're a hero, and you are supporting your hero to make a score, whether it's a ball in a basket, or a catch, or an out on the box. No matter how you do it, we are all those players, because we've always had a dream of playing the game. And whether we pretend that we're one of those people that are out there playing the game and having fun, some of us can't even, there are people out there that can't play the game, don't know how to play the game, or don't know what to do. But I tell people this: look at it like as if you're playing golf. One day at a time. Take your time to strike the ball, swing, and where it goes is where it lands. But it'll never get lost. That ball will always be found. And yeah, once in a while it's in the water, once in a while it's in the sand, but it'll always come out. And that's why they call it a sand trap, right? Things are called a sand trap, but there's always ways that we'll always find a way to get that ball back in our hand and replay it again, or play the game. It's the way they play the game. And God loves to play ball. And we are his players. And he looks forward to seeing us play the game. And I enjoy playing the game. Because each day, sometimes I get these visions, and they'll say to me, "Don't worry, Derek. It'll come to you when you start your show. Don't just sit down, sit for a few minutes, write these down, and quickly do your research. You'll get your answers." And that's exactly what I have done. I mean, I could have pre-researched everything ahead of time, and yet I wasn't ready, according to them, because it's not up to me to be ready to start. It's them ready for me to start. So each of us, where there's no clock, they tell us when to start, right? Catherine says, keep your mindset on you will always have and what you need, and you will. That's true. Because each day, and I'll tell you this, guys, I'm a crafter, I'm an artisan. I go out and I'm in my studio, I do my crafts. I'm sure I have my curtain behind me because, my crafting room's behind me. But this is my working studio. And I make these wonderful items. And these are called honorary feathers. Okay, as you can see, these honorary feathers. And when I make these, I put them in a box. These are presented for people and tells a story about it as well. When a person receives an eagle feather, these are legal feathers, but they look like an eagle. And when a person receives this as a gift, it's considered the highest honor. Okay, I make lots of these different colors and sizes. So I'm busy working on those because I ran out of my supplies. I ran out of those because I'm always in demand. The schools will call me up and I'll do about 80, 90 pieces and have them shipped over to the schools. And these kids are presented these items. Each child or student is given one of these as a gift for their accomplishment of what their goal has been created, what they accomplished in any goal. And they're given as a gift from the teacher or the principal or from whoever. And that's considered, and the kids love it because it's recognizable like a trophy in a way. But it's something that they've accomplished, and it makes them feel good because it's from the heart. Plus, these are fallen feathers. They're not killed for that. Everything's all fallen. And then we put this something together. It's traditional, but this is what I do. Okay. And that's one of the items I make, but I'm focusing on that particular work right now. Here's something I want to bring up. I want to bring this up. I did a video this past Sunday, and I decided to go do some bird feather hunting because that's what I do. I go to all the parks, whatever is located in my locations, and I go and look for bird feathers, from everything from mallard duck to Canada goose, whatever fallen feathers around. I pick them up and I bring them home, and I use them for my work. Okay, I've been doing it for years. One particular park I went to, which normally has thousands or hundreds of feathers available for me to get. This year, there's not one feather in the park, and this is part of White Rock in their park. Not one feather, but not one Canada goose either, like none. Okay? No mallards, no Canada geese. And I'm thinking, what the hell happened? Now, according to one lady saying that the Department of Wildlife said they found a bunch of dead geese laying on the side, like as if they got killed. And they said, oh, the coyotes did it. Yeah, they're two-legged coyotes that did it. Not four-legged. Two-legged coyotes did it. And they work for the government. But they lied to the people. Because there's a program set up right now as we speak called culling, Culling. So what they do is they collectively at night, they put up these high fence, and they have this furnace they bring in the back of the truck that's at thousands of degrees, and they grab these birds, they corral the birds because they can't fly at the moment, because they don't fly. The Canada geese and the ducks can't fly for at least 3 months because they're laying. What they do is they corner them, they collectively pick them up and throw them alive. They throw them alive into the fire, into these furnaces. It's happened before. People have done this. Okay. I've seen it down in Stanley Park. It's horrible. They do this at nighttime, and it stinks because by the time it's done, it smells like a bunch of barbecued birds and stinks like burnt feathers. Horrible. And the city of Vancouver and the people will say online, I'm getting sick and tired of walking on bird manure or bird shit, whatever they want to call it, in the parks, and I'm tired of walking in there and getting on my shoes. I want these birds killed. I want these birds out of the way. And I'm thinking to myself, who came first, man or birds? Number one, you build a park, the birds are going to come. Humans come after. But they favor the humans first over the birds. because all they do is they kill them. Now, number one, folks, birds have to follow a migration. You, government, killed their pattern, their travel pattern. You killed them. You murdered them. You didn't give them a chance. I don't give a shit if you shook their eggs and they can't have babies. You have no right to do that either. You can't have no right to depopulate. You are just as bad as Bill Gates. Okay? For what he's been doing, both him and Fauci have been depopulating people for over 2 billion people in these last 2 years, and you folks are doing the same thing. You destroyed the wildlife. You burnt the forests, and you destroyed a lot of wildlife, deer, bear, you name any kind of bird. You destroy them. You've also depopulated too. You're just responsible. And you think you call yourself Department of Wildlife? No, you are worse than the rest. You have no right to depopulate any animal. God gives them that right to populate, not you. You're not God. I'm not kidding. They've been doing the same thing to the bees. It gets to be ridiculous. They're spraying sprays the skies, and they destroy the flowers, and the bees can't survive, and they lose them by the thousands. So what people are doing right now is they are creating bee hives, but they're bringing them into houses. Like actually, they build these large buildings so the bees can survive indoors, and they build these large greenhouses with flowers so the bees can actually pollinate inside the greenhouses, giant greenhouses. The bees cannot afford to be outdoors now because there were too many sprays. I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about the past. There were so many bad sprays that even the material that Bill Gates was manufacturing was killing the bees and the birds and destroying the trees, the fruit trees, you name it. It was really doing some major, major damage. And yeah, okay. And as Catherine says, it's happening up here in northern BC. Plus, there are next to no ravens and not even the fast food drive-throughs. No, I know. Like it's come to the point where and yet on the website, my wife looked up the website, and it says in there that the government wants people to phone in the government to phone to the department any sign of any Canada geese in the park or any parks to call them, and they will come down and kill or take them away. Call them, not cull, but also call them. Like, oh, there's a Canada goose in the park. Go get it. And they grab them and they take them away. Okay, I'm not kidding you, folks. They're killing them. This is not Department of Wildlife. This is not, no. I got a friend that works for Department of Wildlife, and this is not what he does. He doesn't go kill them. But there's special people that they hire that goes and kills them secretly. Whenever there's a bear on the loose, it used to be you set up a trap or you shoot the bear to put it to sleep. You pick up the bear, you put it in a big, huge container. You haul it out to northern part of BC where there's lots of forest. It takes about a day to get out there, 1 day, to haul the bear all the way out there, open up that item, let him free. There's no people living out there. It's wildlife, complete protected park. They won't even do that no more. They don't want to spend the money to do that. They would rather just shoot and kill it. Even though there are people tearing down forests where the bears are living, they're killing the bears so they can live there. And they'll say, oh, I don't know why the bears are coming here. They're getting into my garbage. Gee, I wonder why, because you moved into their neighborhood. You're responsible. It's your fault, not theirs. Fort Langley, here's a story. Fort Langley, back in 1867, they decided to build a Fort Langley out here. Pardon me. Historically, I get really riled up when I start coughing. But I got the fan in my face and I cough. I got the fan down on me. Pardon me. In Fort Langley, In one of my books, I should bring it out one day. They actually, the people of Fort Langley, or the government, not the people of Fort Langley, but the government, the Queen, ordered that all the bears be slaughtered, be killed. They killed over 500 bears. Over 500 bears so they can create a settlement in that area. 500 bears. And yet, the Queen has no right whatsoever to slaughter bears to create a settlement because it doesn't belong to the crown. It never did. Okay? Now, someone's saying now they're poisoning the fruit, so be careful what you buy. Well, follow the numbers. There's actually a special number code that tells you what's organic. Follow those numbers, and it'll give you a better protection and ideas. Because a lot of these fruits and vegetables now are grown in centers in these labs, so it's a lot different than it used to be. Also, this lab grown meat, are you freaking kidding me? When I told my wife they're selling her lab grown meat, my wife said, really? Dumbest thing in the world they ever did, because lab grown meat does not mean it's meat. It's fake. There's no blood that was in it. No blood. It's just lab grown. The blood gives it the energy. Okay. Whenever you take a life of an animal, the blood itself gives it the energy that's what we require is the blood, life energy. It's a sensory that helps give us that little extra boost. When you take the blood out of it and say you grow it in the lab, it has no energy. That's just dead meat. That's just dead. You can, whether you don't cook it or not, it's just completely dead, no taste. You see, Gates, his game was to why he did this. The lab grown had nothing to do with meatless people. He was not a vegan nor vegetarian, never was. Okay. And yes, Catherine, yes, it's glued meat. It's actually slaughterhouse meat. Is actually what they do is all the intestines that they used to throw those intestines away. Now they're crushing up the intestines with the meat, the fats and whatever have you, and they use a glue and they glue it all together to look like it's a red steak. And then they'll put cow blood, and they actually bathe it in the cow blood to make it look as if it's actually a solid meat. But if you decided to heat it up and you say you put it in the microwave first and then bring it out about 10 minutes later, you'll see it all look gray. Like it will look gray. Well, that's not how meat's supposed to look like, because the glue is coming off. The glue turns the meat gray, and that's not healthy. So Kathy says, just say no to Franken meat. In America, they pass a law that restaurants can sell customers meat that's been glued together, and also Franken meat. Don't even go to the restaurant. So, but McDonald's was doing the same thing for the longest time. They actually were making, using human meat. We were eating our own kind for about 10 years. And then Trump came in. When he found this out, they came in, they actually burnt the buildings down. They actually arrested the people and had them arrested for crimes against humanity. And yeah, so we didn't realize that what we were eating is our own kind. They were trying to teach us to eat our own kind, to become cannibals. There was a difference between cannibalism, eating your own kind, than eating a cow or eating a pig. It's natural for us in our lives to eat meat. It's our blood type that can help us eat. And now some people can't eat meat. That's fine. Use your prerogative. If you can't eat meat, want to be a vegan, be a vegan. But there are some things out there sometimes that your body requires, and you can miss it. Like I myself, I'm an A negative, and I was trying to go off meat. My body was buzzing. I had a hard time. I was feeling so lightheaded, so weird, and I was trying to be vegan. Didn't work for me. I was having headaches, migraines. Um, I was feeling lightheaded all the time. I was dizzy. And once I got into a piece of meat, like a piece of beef or mostly chicken or I was actually either chicken, turkey, or fish. Once I had my salmon, I was happy. My body was back in action again. So it's your blood type that tells you what you can have. I don't have pork. I can't even handle pork chops. It makes me feel like I want to throw up. So, I mean, your body will actually reject it or accept it. Everyone's different. That's how it is. We vibrate to food. We vibrate to certain things. We vibrate to things on this world. We vibrate to what's on our under our feet. If you guys get as often as you guys possibly can, summertime's still here. Off the shoes and walk on the grass for a while. Get grounded out there. You're going to feel better about it. You feel a bit more healthier. I'm 66 years old and I am not feeling my age. Never have. I mean, I may look like sometimes like 66, but I'm on the go. I can't sit still. That's just the way I am. I just go, go, go. And I plan on staying here for past 100. I really do. I'm planning on staying here for a long time. I'm not planning on leaving yet. I don't. As long as God's got me to stay here and do more things, I'm going to stay. I'm in. That's it. And I'm sure a lot of you would want to do the same thing. Any of you young ladies out there saying, "Oh no, I don't want to be 75 because then I look ugly." No, get over it. You're not Hollywood anymore. Yes, Catherine. Get them from your local farmers instead of going to your stores. Your farmers, you know what? I'll tell you one thing. The farmers do crave us. They need us. A lot of the local farmers need us. And so if you pay that extra dollar, that's worth it because it's them that's doing all the labor work. They do the work. I mean, I'm an ex-farmer myself. I was on the farm. I knew how to do cattle. I shot my own cow, cut her all up, butchered her, the whole 9 yards. I knew how to do it. I learned. That's how you learn, right? But she didn't just die because she had to die. No, this one had to die because she broke her hind hip, and there's no way we could fix her. And I was quite upset. The vet says we can't help her. She broke her hip in a hole where it shouldn't have been there, but for some reason that hole was there in the farmland. So we had to take a tractor and pull her out and from the hole, deep in the hole, and then we had to do the work on her. So, but I got used to that, and it didn't scare me. It didn't. I was upset. The fact I felt really bad because she was pregnant and she had 2 calves in her, and I was so mad. She had twin calves for the first time. It was my cow. She had twin calves. I'm like, no way. I was so pissed. But again, it was an accident that should never ever happened. So. Life moves on, and we'll always come back and do more stuff. Okay. Catherine says, well, I hope I make it until my grandkids go out on their own. Oh, you'll make it. You won't believe. Oh, by the way, yes. Talk about the med beds. I was sent a new video from the med bed people, the real med bed people. There was a guy who was in the military, who was in the med bed. He was in there for 11 minutes. He said all of his pain in his legs, all of his pain in his back was gone in 11 minutes. He got up. He felt like a virile young man. He says he felt like they took out 25 or 30 years from him. And he looked different. Oh, man, did he look ever different. Like he looked younger. So, yes, they do exist. They're coming out soon, folks. It's a matter of timing. So, yes, I saw the machine. Wow. Like it's one of them. I was like totally amazed. I said, yes, that's it. So it's all going to come up. I mentioned time travel back. So was that a state of mind or actual travel? We can time travel while we sleep. We can time travel while we're awake. People think that you can't time travel. Yes, you can. You can visualize yourself time traveling, say 5 years ahead. Okay. So what you do is you sit quietly by yourself and you say to yourself, God, can you show me what the world's going to look like in 5 years? And show me. So then you open your eyes and you'll see. Sometimes they'll probably show you ahead of time. You can take a picture of that, and then you can close your eyes again. They take me back to to the year, same day, where I am, and you'll see everything is normal. So we all have been able to do that for a long, long time. Yes, Melissa, and drink a great medicine, traditional medicine teas. It's true, we do. Also, too, which is a very good idea, guys. Thank you, Catherine. Pineal gland portals. You can also not just portals, but also you can do uh, pineal gland cleansings. And there's actually, if you need to find information on that, if you don't have, you can always ask me, and I can send you the information on that as well to help fix the brain, give it more of an awakening, right? They'll help a lot. Absolutely. Okay. Well, I hope you guys do well. And sleep traveling is really good. Yeah. Yes, I know about sleep traveling. I can't remember dreams, visions, etc. How to remember. Um, how you do sleep traveling. You ever hear the word sleep deprivation? And that is because people are afraid to see the future. They're also afraid to see if anything negative is going to happen to them, or that sort of thing. We have to learn to stop worrying about that, because um, we have been taught so much about what if those words. What if something goes bad? What if something goes wrong? Nothing's going to go wrong. We make it go wrong. We actually create the negative. Learn to look for the I see myself succeed. I see my business do well. And I see myself kicking ass and taking names. And we're going to keep on doing this, right? Um, as Neheo, we don't worry about our age. We just live, walk good, talk good, and look good. I know, Melissa, you do look good. Okay. You're a wonderful mom. She takes good care of herself. And those kids are looking pretty cool, right? And you stay positive, and your positive life is absolutely positive. Like it's where you see yourself going. Like I see myself doing so many things. I'm not done. I've got things to do. I'm not done. Okay, Billy Joe says, I used to see many visions, but no one listened to, so I made myself stop so much, so I can't remember waking up. Try not to stop that from happening. If you're shown this for a reason, try not to stop yourself. I can't use the word don't. Try not to stop yourself from actually being fearful of what you're seeing. You're supposed to see these visions. You're supposed to receive them. I mean, they're meant for you. Catherine, yes, I would like to say that, but I can't, because YouTube will say, no, you can't say that. So they can share that amongst friends in the Facebook page. Yeah. So, okay, what else we got here to finish off the night? Coming week, next week, I'm going to try and see if I can get um, Rob Mercury and Rob Mercury and Mixon come in the program. They got lots to share with you guys. It's going to be an eye-opening more. There's a lot of remote viewing to be done. I have been busy remote viewing lately, and it's been nuts. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, I'm going to be loving and leave you, and may God take care of you all. And in the meantime, and in between time, it's another edition. As Ed Whalen once said, the late Ed Whalen used to say, another edition. He was a fun guy to watch on TV. Okay. Take care, guys, and we'll see you guys next week. And God be with you all. Peace out. Where is it? Oh my goodness. There it is. Ta-da!
Everyone lives, everyone dies. Everyone loves, everyone cries. Round the world we're all alike. So why is there war? Why do we fight? There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace, make peace, make peace, peace. Alright, isn't it time for the stop time? Isn't it time, mother, stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace in peace, in peace. Alright, make peace, peace together. Peace.